What's up guys, Reese here from reese3d.com. This is the fifth part of our tutorial series called Creating 3D Characters in Maya. In the previous parts, we basically started creating the sketch, and then we brought the sketch inside Maya and we started building the 3D character inside Maya. So once the modeling process is finished, the next process is to create the textures. Now before we start creating the textures themselves, we need to prepare the model for setting up the UVs. Now if you don't know about what is UV and stuff like that, I have added links to other videos in the channel explaining you exactly what UV is and why it is important. So in this video, we will start creating the UVs for all these different objects, and then in the next video, we'll start creating the textures in Photoshop. The previous parts of these videos are also linked in the description, so you can check them out if you have not watched them. Okay, so let's jump into Maya. So we have completed till this much. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take each of these objects piece by piece, and then we will start creating the UV for that. Now I'm going to start with this head area, right? So I'm going to just select these other parts and I'm going to hide them. Okay, so select all these guys, create a layer and hide them. You can actually give a name for this. We'll call this as extra or temporary or whatever that is. Hit OK. Okay, so that's being hidden now. So if I select this, I also want to add this. So let's go, where's that? Add selected object. Good. So now if I select this object and I open up my UVs, so if I go to window, and there I can find modeling editors, and there you will find UV editor. Okay, so that opens up the UV editor here. Now if I select the object, it will actually show me how the UV of this object looks, because this is basically created from a cube, so it basically has this shape of the cube. Okay, so from this we're going to basically first hit a simple planar map, and then we can basically split it into different sections by using the move and sew UV tool. Okay, so I'm going to select the object and I'll go to UV, and we will go to planar options. Let's go to edit, reset, and I just want to project it from the front, so that is our Z axis. Okay, so hit project, and there you go. So that's just the shape here. Okay, now keep in mind, we need to make sure that our UVs, all the UVs, fit exactly inside this box. Okay, so that's the exact space that we will get to create the texture in Photoshop. All right, so now let me just select this object and make sure that there's no other issues here. Everything looks fine. Okay, good. Now let's go to UV, and there you will find a tool called 3D Cut and Sew UV tool. Okay, if you have older versions of Maya, you won't find this, so make sure that you have the latest one. Okay, so I'll go ahead and hit that. Go ahead and change this from component edges. Okay, so I want to make this the front face area together, so that we can easily paint it out. Okay, so I'm gonna just double click on one of these, so that basically draws a line from one end of the head to the other end. That's fine. And I also want to do the same thing here. Double click here, and I also want to double click here, and I think that's good enough. We can also do this here so that it splits this entire section here for us. That is perfect. And for the rest of the area, I actually want to double click here, 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 so that one side comes out, and I can actually keep from the top till the bottom together as one. So I'll just double click here, double click here, and double click here. Okay, so we could have kept this entire thing as one piece, but it'll be a little bit difficult for us to lay it down here if it is in a weird shape. So now that all of them are kind of like a rectangular shape, it'll be much easier for us. And now if you take a look at this area, this is our mouth area. Now we can keep it like this, so that it'll just give us this space that we need for creating the lips and stuff. Or we can actually split this mouth, take the mouth out of this shape and keep it as a separate one so that we can create more detail if needed. So I'm going to just double click on this guy, double click on this, double click on this, and double click on this. So that'll select all these guys. That's good. So now we have actually created different sections here. So this is one hair, the face area, and then this is for the mouth area. And we have one side here. This is a complete box, and the other side is a complete box. And this top, the back, and the bottom is one single piece. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to basically expand this and put them into different sections here. Okay, so you would find a little bit of toolbar here. If you don't find the toolbar, you can go to tools here inside the UV editor menu. Okay, and there we will find tools and show UV toolkit. Okay, so click on that. So that opens up this little toolkit. Okay, so when you open it for the first time, you'll have all these things shrunken. So let's just go ahead and click on this unfold to open that up, and we can actually click on this little unfold button. Okay, so just click on it. So if nothing happens. Okay, so I think I should have selected the object. So let's go to I'll just come out of this move and sew UV tool, sorry, cut and sew UV tool. Let's just click on this guy, right click, go to UV, and then I'm going to select all these UVs here, and then I will click on unfold. There you go. So now it basically splits all these guys and puts them in as separate shells or islands. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually right click here and choose UV shell here. Okay, so that way I can just click on these guys and move them. You can see now that this is just the face area, right? And this is basically the side, and this is the other side. This is the top, back, and the bottom, and this is the mouth. Okay, good. So now we have all these guys split up, and because we use the unfold, it's actually unfold. It's tried to make all these different faces to match up with the 3D space that we have. Okay, so that's good. Now I want to select this guy. I'm going to make this smaller. Now we need to basically have some basic idea about the different sizes. We should try to keep all of them in the same size. Okay, we're just going to paint with the paint tool in Photoshop, so it is not that important, but it's better to have almost the same size for all these guys. So generally what people do is they create something called a checker map, just to check and make sure that all of them have the same size, because you see this is the front and this is basically the back, so the back should have the same length of this front. But because we're just going to paint with colors, it is not that important. But if you're creating a really professional looking result, then you need to make sure that they're all the same. But for this project, it's okay. So I'm going to just keep it here. I'm going to make this a bit smaller as well, so that we will have enough space to fit these guys. Okay, so I think this also needs to be made a bit bigger. We don't have enough space. Let's see what we can do. Just pull this up. Now, if you want to have the same color that needs to be applied on both sides, we can actually keep one on top of the other as well. Okay, but this is actually facing in the opposite direction, so we can't do that. Okay, fine. So that's fine. Now let's try to do the same thing on the other objects that we have. Let me just turn these guys on. Okay, and this is going to have just a single color, so it's okay, we can ignore that. This is also going to have a single color, no problem. This collar is also going to have a single color, no problem. Let's just make sure that it's actually attached in both these sides, and we also need to make sure that they're one object, not two objects. Okay, so I think it is merged as one object. but we have some connectivity issue here, so I'll just hide these guys. These vertices needs to be merged together, so let's just press 4 to make sure that we're selecting the right ones. Okay, so select these two, and we're going to merge vertices to center. Select these two, merge vertices to center. Select these two, merge vertices to center. Okay, let me select all that, press F. Yep, I went too close. Okay, so these two guys needs to be merged. Okay, that's fine. This one, if it is 2 or 1, it is 2. Okay, so let's try to merge that as well. Merge vertices to center. Good. I'll have to do that here also. So select these two, merge vertices to center. Good. Let me select these guys and check them out. Oh, these are also still 2 pieces, so let's just merge them as well. Merge vertices to center. Good. Now when we do this merge, I want to make sure that it does not affect after smoothing. Yeah, it looks perfectly fine. Good, no issues. Okay, so this object is also going to have the same color, so one color for the entire object. So it's okay, we don't have to do any texturing UVs on this. This one will need some work, so I think I can also ignore this because we can simply select these different faces and apply a different material, because for the belt area I want to have one material, and for the buckle area I just want to apply a different material. So it's okay, that's also being taken care of. Now the only other issue that we have is the leg. So let me just put everything inside the extra except this one. So let's just go ahead and remove this selected object, and then I'm gonna hide that. So this also need to be added there. Okay, so now when we did the merging, we had a little problem here. This should have been split into 2 different pieces. So when we get into this texturing part, we can do these kind of little fixing. When I did the mirror, what has happened is it has actually connected this area. So I just want to split it like so. Okay, and I'll do the same thing here. Good. And now I can just delete this one, delete this one. That's fine. And I want to do the same thing here. So let's just click here and click here. Actually, we can put it exactly in the middle. So there's a little bit of indication that goes there. I can also press Shift key, so that will help me to put it exactly in the middle. So click, go here, press Shift. So that's going to be 50%. So we know that in both sides they are in the same place. Perfect. Good. So next thing that we want to do is we want to do the UV for this guy. So let's go ahead and check out our UV editor. So click on that, select the object, and that's the UV that we have. So again, as we did earlier, I'm just going to apply a UV planar mapping here. So that's just going to do that. And now we will actually start splitting this into different sections. So what I want to do here is I want to take the UV and 3D cut and sew UV tool, and then we need to make sure that we're in the edge mode. Okay, so first things first, I want to split it into 2 sections, or I can actually split it from this leg here. So let's just double click on that, so that splits that leg. Nice. And I can double click on this, that splits it there as well. And now I want to just click right here. So that's basically going to open up the bottom area. Okay, and I also want to split it right here. Okay, So I hope that looks that good. That gives a good result here. And then I also want to split the legs. Okay, so it can actually start from here. So double click. Good. I'll do the same thing for this side, and like so. And then I need to split up the legs, so I'll actually split it up here and here. Okay, so if you're still confused why I'm doing like this, it will make sense to you when you do it a few times. All right, so here we have the foot. Let's split it here, so that goes all the way down here. Fine. And then for the bottom, I can split it like so, like so. So I'll have to repeat the same thing here. So double click on this, double click on this, and double click on this. So now everything is being divided. So now we need to do the unwrapping thingy. Let's go ahead and use the UV tools here and unfold. Before we do unfold, we need to select the objects. So let's go to move tool and select UV and select all the UVs and click on unfold. Okay, so that basically unfolds it. Let's see, I think everything looks fine, except that this area has some kind of issue somewhere. Why is it not splitting up? Okay, so I think there's two. Okay, so let me check here. I think there are two sets of UVs here. Let's go to edge mode and just select the edge. Yeah, there is one little vertex extra. So I'll do something here. I'll just select these guys, merge to center. So now let's try the unfold once again. So I can even select and do the unfold for just this body area. Select this UV shell, just to unfold. What? Unfold. The selected mesh has non-manifold. Okay, so let's just fix that. Yes, that's fine. That's exactly what we wanted. So this is the leg area and this is the hip area. Okay, so let's just scale this down a bit and rotate it a bit. I think I can make it a bit more smaller as well. As I told you earlier, we need to make sure that it's not going out of this area, so that's fine, that's perfectly fine. Now this is the leg. Let's just select both these legs. I'm not going to change the size of them. I'm just going to keep them as it is. Now when we're painting this in Photoshop, we can actually just paint on one side, just copy and paste for making the other one. Okay, so this is again the heel area, and this is the foot area. I'm not going to change the size of them. I'll try to make them the same and place them there. Okay, so we'll do the same thing for this guy. Rotate it, place him there. There you go. So that's our UV being done. Let's just unhide that. Okay, so we've done with the UV here and we're done with the UV for the head as well. Okay, these other items we can simply apply a simple texture, either file texture or even a simple color will do. So this completes this tutorial. In the next one, we will take this UVs into Photoshop and we will start painting the textures for the character. So thanks for watching, guys. If these videos are really useful for you, please hit the like button and share it with your friends. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure that you subscribe and turn on the notification icon so that you will know when I make new videos. Okay, so have a nice day, take care, see you in the next one. Bye bye.